subscribers. Let's give people a moment to get in the stream, and then give me a moment to get this camera here. No, we're just gonna have it like this. I doubt that it's gonna hold that way. I doubt it's gonna hold. Hold on here. Let's see if that holds. Okay, that somewhat holds. Do I need some light on me? Do I need some light on me here? Let me use the magnet. Could use the magnet holder here. Also, give me a moment and let me know if we are. Whoa! Don't show that. Don't show that. Yeah, the magnet. Okay, we're gonna use the magnet here. Let me give myself some lighting. Let's light up the smoke. I'm hoping I could smoke a little, at least smoke this thing. And this is a big thing to be smoking. Not the cigar to be, Did I break this thing? Oh man, I might have broke my light. Had it for years too. You got, oh there, oh. It's this plug. The plug. Yeah, I forgot you guys can hear me. All right. We're gonna get some water here soon. Forgot that you guys can hear me. Let me bring out the music too. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a little too bright. I don't need that much light. I don't need that much bright. You don't need that much light on me. Yo, what's going on, Aiden? Or Adelan? Adelan sounds familiar. Oh, I'm questioning my decision here. On radar, it looks like we are good. There's supposed to be like rain like now, and then it's gone. So I don't know how accurate this fucking thing is. My day was good. It's evening now. What's up, people? Please subscribe. I need subscribers. Please subscribe. You guys can all hear me, right? I think that you can. Let me get on the YouTubes here. Please subscribe. I'm almost on the way to 500. I need 500 subscribers. Just a big start on the channel. Do you guys? Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, you could hear me. You could hear me. Cool. Thank you, Ali. Oi. Danny, thank you so much. Day's been good. We are just chilling. We're gonna try and smoke this cigar here. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna be successful. And we're gonna talk about was it Matthew Kohberger or Daniel Kohberger? What is my boy Kohberger? Not the right music for Kohberger, right? Kohberger. Brian Kohberger accepted the plea deal. Trippy shit, man. Hopefully that water stays away, but any subs, please subscribe. Anybody I get subbing is fucking a treat. Hopefully this rain just is not coming here. And it is coming out of the south. Oh, hopefully I get lucky. Hopefully I get lucky and we smoke a cigar and we're able to stay indoors and I don't get stormed on. It's very hard to mess the V cutter up. Please hit the subscribe button. Any subscribers I'd appreciate. Kohberger. Love the flame. Look at the way it looks on the camera. Hopefully I get lucky here, man. What's up, people? What's up? Yeah, why do you think he submitted a plea deal? Word was that his lawyers were exhausted and they were just worried. You know what I mean? Anybody know about the Brian Kohberger case? Anybody else like a Kohberger was following that? The murder trial, the kids in Ohio. A lot of murders going on here. A lot of death out there in the good old US of A. Sick people, man. Like, he studied it, but what was his deal? Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate it. Anybody that subs, I genuinely appreciate any subs. You don't have to like hit the notification bell. Just subscribe. Right? Kohberger agreed to plead guilty on all counts of the Idaho College murders case. So essentially, he is admitting that he murdered those kids. North Korea? Come on, you liar. You're not in North Korea. Mango subprime. Come on. Pyongyang, North Korea. Man, this cigar, I was worried about the cigars. I must have just had a bad one. I was worried about the flavor of it, but it's good. How dare you, sir? Well, I mean, how often do I get somebody? Whoa. Man, that was close by. That was a big one. Man, it tastes good, this cigar. Oh, even another one. So I got to start smoking earlier or figure out, take some photos. How dare you? Well, I mean, having somebody in the stream from North Korea, I didn't even know North Koreans had internet. That's not true. I think most of the world has internet by now, or at least if they want it, they can have it, especially with Starlink, right? Anybody in here know about the Kohberger case? You reach too much propaganda, my friend. Sure, comrade. Whatever you say, buddy. You must be Kim Jong-un's nephew or something, huh? He's Kim Jong-un's nephew. He has a wave pool and he plays basketball very well. It is Mango Subprime. All right, Mango. Do they have mangoes in North Korea? Love mangoes. Tell you what, the cigars look better on camera than they do in real life, don't they? I didn't bring any drink out here with me. No water, no tea. I'm wearing my old fucking shirt that I've tried to throw away or was about to throw away like numerous times and just haven't. The shirt, it's a great shirt, just never goes away. It's just so comfortable. Rather be his nephew than his uncle. Yeah, I'd imagine so. That makes sense, Mango. That makes a lot of sense, buddy. You're not a dummy. Mango. Maybe he is from North Korea. He's not a dumb person. Can I make a poll here? Let me make a poll. Is that what I could do? Let me see. Yeah, start a poll. All right, we started a poll. Look at that, my first poll. I didn't know you could do that during the lives, or I thought I saw something like that we could do it. And I got the wireless mic going. I could read the chats on the camera in the evening, really, really easy. Please subscribe. Hey, Mango, whether you're from Korea or not, if you could subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you have a YouTube account, which you do, you are able to subscribe to this channel. You know, we were initially trying, or we're going to discuss the Kohberger case, right? No problem, comrade. You're funny, Mangoes. I like it, Mango. I like it. So I don't think that it says here that Kohberger, who was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary in connection with the 22 killings of roommate Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Morgan, and Zaina Komodal, and Komodal's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, will be sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences on the murder counts and the maximum penalty of 10 years on the burglary count, according to the plea agreement. So they got him with burglary too, on top of that, right? On top of the 4 deaths, he had to get 10 years for the fucking burglary. Of all things, it's like insult to injury. You know what I mean? Prosecutors anticipate sentencing to take place in late July, as long as Kohberger enters the guilty plea as expected at a change of plea hearing that is scheduled for Wednesday, according to the letter received by the family of one of the victims. Kohberger will waive the right to appeal, the agreement said. The state will also seek restitution for the victims and their families, according to the agreement. Like, what has he got? Right? The plea comes weeks before Kohberger's trial was set to begin. Jury selection was set to start on August 4th, and opening arguments were scheduled for August 18th. There must have been some damning evidence in addition to the exhaustion on the part of the lawyers. There had to be something more. Prosecutors said in the letter to the families that the state was approached last week by Kohberger's defense team to ask to be presented with an offer. Prosecutors said they'd met with available family members last week, weighed the right path forward, and made a formal offer to Kohberger. This resolution is our sincere attempt to seek justice for your family, prosecutors wrote in the letter. This agreement ensures that the defendant will be convicted, will spend the rest of his time in prison, and will not be able to put you or other families through the uncertainty of decades of post-conviction appeals. Your viewpoints weighed heavily in our decision-making process, and we hope that you may continue to appreciate why we believe this resolution is in the best interest of justice, right? But the Goncalves family is upset with the plea, claiming that the Latah County Prosecutor's Office mishandled and rushed the deal. I don't know about that. They vaguely mentioned the possible plea on Friday without seeking our input and presented the plea on Sunday, the family said in a statement. Latah County should be ashamed of its prosecutor's office. 4 wonderful young people lost their lives, yet the victims' families were treated as opponents from the onset. We weren't even called about the plea, which we received an email with a letter attached. That's how Latah County's prosecutor's office treats murder victims' families. Adding insult to injury, they are rushing the plea, giving families just 1 day to coordinate and appear at the courthouse for a plea on July 2nd. Wow. So they, yeah, that's not fair to the families, giving them 1 day or 2 days to get there. Well, he approached, as if you were paying attention, Joey, and if you were here earlier, God, these trolls are horrible. These, Jojo the troll. Somebody boot him out. Where's one of my mods? Where's my mod to put Joey in timeout for coming in late and asking stupid questions? Thank God we have an education system here where we could fix stupid. We could fix stupid, Joey, and you got a lot of fixing to be done, okay? There's a lot of work to be done on Joey. A lot of stupid there to fix. All right, so the family I'm going to finish the statement. Okay, can I finish the statement, Joey? Can I finish? As I'm rudely interrupted, and you interrupted. Asked a stupid question, and you interrupted the presentation here. Jesus, these people. All right, the family statement went on to say that after more than 2 years, this is how it concludes, with a secretive deal and a hurried effort to close the case without any input from the victims' families on the plea deal's details. Our family is frustrated right now and will subside and will come together as always and deal with the reality that we're faced moving forward. I mean, isn't it closure? Like, what do the parents want? Like, to hang the guy up and so you could stab him a little bit as he's on top of a cross or something? What do you mean, cut the mic? What were the families expecting, right? Isn't justice served? He's gonna admit to it, right? Which he didn't before. He's angry, which he didn't before. He didn't admit to. He's gonna admit to the crimes. He is gonna do 4 consecutive life sentences, so he's not getting out of jail. He cannot appeal it, so they're not going to revisit this in some fashion. They're not going to have another case or reopen it, right, again and again and again, so he doesn't have multiple appeals on it. And then the restitution is stupid, but he's in jail for his life. All right, here's what the university said, okay? The University of Idaho said in a statement Monday, "We keep the families of the victims in our hearts as each deals with this outcome in their own way. No outcome can replace what they lost," the university said. "We will never forget the 4 incredible lives taken." Wow, 4 people. The 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death in the girls' off-campus house in the early hours of November 13, 2022. 2 roommates inside survived, including one roommate who told authorities in the middle of the night she saw a man walking past her in the house. According to court documents, the roommate described the intruder as not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows, according to the documents. Are my eyebrows bushy? Am I athletic? Am I athletically built? The shocking quadruple killings. The shocking quadruple killings shook the small college town of Moscow, catapulted to national media interest, and launched a nearly 7-week manhunt. In December 2022, Kohberger, a criminology PhD student at nearby Washington State University at the time, was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania. DNA matching Kohberger was found on a Ka-Bar knife sheath by one of the victim's bodies, prosecutors have said. Defense lawyers have said that Kohberger was driving around alone on the night when the killings occurred. I got 2 votes in the poll. Awesome. 2 votes. 2 votes in the poll. I would have taken, there's something else here. There had to be some other damning piece of evidence, and or I think his lawyers just sort of quit on him. Like they made that plea deal for themselves as well as their client. They're like, man, we're gonna get our asses kicked here, and we need to try to get out of this. That's what I think partially happened as well. I don't think Kohberger approached the prosecutors. I think the defense approached the prosecutors, which they did, but I think they might not have even. They have to consult Kohberger on it, right? They have to tell him like the reality, like, hey, dude, we think this is, if we go to trial, we're fucking cooked, right? Oh, you would have went to trial, not the trailer. Yeah, I would have went to trial too. Play the process out. Why admit guilt? Because they could have did the use the plug. Yeah, they could have gotten the death penalty, but that wasn't an absolute, right? That isn't necessarily what would have happened, right? It was on the table. It was a probable outcome, but it wasn't like set in stone. But he got a deal that's set in stone. Like he's got to go to jail. So, what is else? Yeah, there's always a chance that something could. Yeah, that's the other thing is that like in that long process, there's a process that he had almost grounds for a mistrial already. There was already samples, evidence, taken improperly. There was, a bad witness, right? The drunk witness person. There was already a lot of stuff that could have tainted the case and went on his behalf, but politics, Joey. What about the political side? Mistrial, yeah, mistrial, but what about the political side? I think they're seeing that regardless of the judge had it out for him. The prosecution, the town, the state. Everybody wants him to be guilty, including the lawyers that are on these channels on YouTube and on all the shit. They were already assuming that he was guilty. He was already a dead man walking, right? And that I think was unfair. And then how to get like a jury that wasn't already biased, especially if it was like consisting of people in Ohio, in that state, which it would have been. Everybody wants this, to be a case closed. And here's the other thing, is there the possibility of other people. Who were the possible other people? Yeah, he was scared of the death penalty. Yeah. Yeah, it's ironic. He's scared of, he's willing to kill 4 people, but he's unwilling to be killed himself. What is that? What a wimp. You're willing to kill 4 fucking people in brutal murder with a fucking knife with your own hands, but you're scared of the death penalty. That's why the parents are pissed. They wanted the death penalty on him. They're like, no, we want the death penalty, but you can't like plea deal for the death penalty, right? They had to give something in order for him to make that plea. Can I do other things here? Start a Q&A. No, I don't know what a Q&A. Joe, you're one of the only people here right now. If you still are in here, you're already a subscriber. I need more subscribers, Joey. I'm getting up there close to 500. 25 minutes. Time flies sometimes. I'm going to do a little... What the hell is that? So it sounds almost like a cicada. Interesting. Probably. No, you would have... No, I don't think they get good food, Joey. I cheated on my walk today when I got, so I wasn't dehydrated because I had water. There's a 7-Eleven. That's my cheat now, my treat. There's a 7-Eleven on my walk home. And I stop in there and I mix a Slurpee with some vitamin water, like the purple pomegranate vitamin water with some Slurpee, iced tea Slurpee. Fuck. It's so cold, it almost like gives you that head rush. Like you're like, oh, my head hurts. And so I drink that whole thing, and I drink a lot of it while I'm in the store. While I'm in there, I drink so I basically almost get like 2 of them. It's not good. Not good. I had some bad Chinese pasta and some chicken today, some bad Chinese food. Almost another cheat. And then I made pasta, whatever, no worries. My food today was not up to par. It's a rest day. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I already know that, Joey. I already did Chat GPT for a bunch of stuff. Who do you think writes my content? No, I write it. I write it and then put it through Chat GPT, and it helps me. The meals aren't an issue. I don't think. Obviously, Joey, the weight loss is on point, right? Like if I could lose 10 pounds, how many more? 10 pounds in 10 days. I mean, keeping that, sustaining that, I could see that. That's where it's a challenge, right? Like eating clean and eating where you could lose weight every day, or basically a pound a day. And you have to have the fat. There, I got it. I got like, how many pounds of tit fat do you think I have, Joey? How much do you think? Well, let me start a discussion. Let me see. New things. Look at that. Let's see how it looks. Wait, where am I at? Did it work? I don't have it there. Do I have to hit the answer? Answers, how come? Oh, there it goes. Something went wrong, try again. Why is it going wrong? It's not letting me do this, it's not letting me, YouTube is such a censor. It censors you. Just let me do it, right? It's an adult channel. This is an adult channel. Yeah, it's not letting me make that Q&A. Horrible. Yeah, that's pathetic. Yeah, well, they could find him. They know where where he is. You know, they just don't want to send special forces in there to try to get him and like waste a very important life trying to kill this guy. And they want him alive. Why? Why do they want him alive? What's the point of getting him alive? They got Kohberger. Please hit the subscribe button, people. They got Kohberger. They got him alive. That's the other positive for those families is he admits he's guilty, and they got him. Right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Essentially, the crime is solved. We know that indeed he was the killer. Stab those girls, man. Crazy, huh? Thank you, Space Time Continuum. I appreciate that. Um, I appreciate that. I'm not retired, but I'm old. I'll still skateboard. I'm gonna get back on the skateboard. Space Time Continuum. You know, like in Back to the Future when they have the hoverboard, right? I'm gonna be killing it on the hoverboard. What movie did they use those hoverboards in to a large extent? Hey, hit the subscription button, people. Hit the subscription button. Nah, bro, I can't hate, mate. You're the man. God bless, pal. God bless you too, man. We chillin', right? We chillin'. Oh man, Charles, when he couldn't take him down, man, he quit. Like, and he felt the strength. He's like, oh shit, I am fucked. I think he just shocked himself. Like he shocked himself, and then he his laid his didn't have his defenses there, and he felt that power. And Ilya's power is legit. Charles, man, I mean, the other thing about Ilya is that Ilya is like a sniper, right? And remember I was talking before, like days before, the speed. Ilya's speed was just too much. Like look at Joshua Van against Brandon Royval. The speed and accuracy was just lighting Brandon Royval up. Even though Brandon had more jabs and was touching him, what Van was bringing back to him was obviously like more powerful and doing more damage and was coming faster, right? No, I don't think Ilya beats Islam. He could touch Islam, but I don't think he beats Islam. Islam is going to do to Ilya what he should. Maybe he won't be able to. Who knows if Dana tells Islam to just come back, or if it's too late, right? If it's too late already for Islam to come back to 155, maybe he's already like beefing up, getting ready to go up a weight class, right? Islam has nothing to gain by fighting Ilya Tapuria, right? He's going to get paid the same, if not more money going up a weight class, and he's get a chance for his legacy and for a second belt as well. So that ship might have sailed, right? But if I were Dana, I'd be like, hey, come on back. We'll pay you the same money. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of the money. Don't worry about the finances. Come on back. We'll take care of you. Fight Ilya Tapuria. Islam's out here struggling with Dustin. You know, it's Tapuria. It's the same. Like, look at Connor's second one, or he didn't even have a second 155. He beat Alvarez, and that was it, right? Like, yes, he beat a champ. Yet did he beat like the most elite 155er in one of them in history? No. I mean, he did a good job. I'm not trying to, demean what Conor has achieved, right? But Islam's a whole different animal. I mean, even for Charles Oliveira is obviously a whole different animal. Yeah, there are a ton of matchups for Ilya Topuria. The three that are on the plate right now. He could go. Arman Sakurian. He could do Gaethje, right? He could do Gaethje, Topuria, or he could do Paddy Pimblett. I think you should do Paddy. It's a good sell in Europe. Do the European card. They can't do it in Spain. Do it in England or do it here, right? He doesn't want to do it in England. Go fight Paddy. That's what we want to see. We want to see the Paddy fight. What do you guys want to see? Right? Hit the subscribe button. You guys want to see the Paddy fight, don't you? Paddy will easily do him, Kieran says. I don't think so. I don't think Paddy's going to have an easy time of it. Like, who would win? It's not even MMA math, right? Like, I'm not going to get into those matchups. We have fresh matchups for Ilya. Ilya could fight a ton of 155ers. But I think the Paddy fight for us as fans satisfies, or Justin Gaethje even, but I think Paddy satisfies more of the fan base. And Gaethje, hey, you had your title shot. You had your time. Yes, you had a big win recently, but Paddy's on that unbeaten streak, right, in the UFC, and he came into the ring. Dana was pissed. Dana didn't want that happening, but I think it was a good thing. Let's see Paddy. Shaboom Bangwell thinks I don't think anybody will beat him. Man, everybody's not, no one's invincible. They all eventually lose. Even John Jones, we would have seen eventually. Like, look at Anderson Silva. People thought that he was gonna never lose, right? Or, GSP. Like, they all eventually get to that point where they're, could lose. Islam, even. That's why Khabib was smart. Khabib got out of there. Like, if I were, for example, Valentina Shevchenko, I would be done. That's it. I'm leaving. If I were Nunes, I wouldn't come back. She doesn't have anything to lose coming back because she already lost to Pena, and now she could make some more money. So it's not that big of a deal because she has lost, but she's already cemented her legacy, but she wants that paycheck. That's going to be a big pay-per-view. Who, Ilya? Ilya's not retiring on the early. No way. Like, Ilya is only like 30 years old. He's rich though. I think his parents, like his mom's like a diplomat. Was she the Georgian ambassador to Spain? Like, his mom's a diplomat, which means that you come from good family in Georgia. He's rich. Like, he has money. Did you see his home in Spain? The place that he made. It's just beautiful. Like, he's got money. He didn't have to fight. He, was a good athlete and chose well because he's making money. Dana says he's a star, but stars, Dana can make you more of a star, but how is Dana going to promote Ilya Topuria? Right? No, I'm not rich at all. I'm poor. I'm broke. I'm a brokey. But here's the thing about most men. Most men, what's fortunate is that we could change a lot in our lives in a quick amount of time. And then it's also lifestyle that you have, as well as health is wealth. Right? Like, I got things in my health issue, but for the most part, I'm pretty healthy. I'm doing all right. I don't knock on wood. I don't even know if this is wood, this plastic. I mean, but no, I'm not wealthy at all. I'm wealthy in heart and spirit, right? Well, spirit and passion for life. I want to live, so that's why I'm working out. That's why I quit drinking. Drinking almost killed me. Hit that subscribe button, people. Look at how it's burning. This one is really good. I had one of these last week, and it didn't taste good. it smoked well. It just had this nasty resin sort of character to it that it just wasn't very good. This is smoking normally, and it's very, very good. Yeah, my health, yeah. I could puff a cigar, right? The cigar is, my teeth are a little fucked up. I'd like to get my teeth cleaning, a little teeth fixing. I need a little teeth action. You know, I walked over 10 miles today. I walked 11 miles today. Space-time continuum, all right? I walked 11 miles. You know, what do you want? What do you expect? And that's my off. Today was my off day. Oh, absolutely. If you could become a doctor, that'd be fantastic, man. Doctors are like, doctors are revered as gods. You know, in certain doctor, you know, cultures, the witch doctor or the doctor was super powerful. Like they were, doctors were also the religious leaders. They were one in hand, you know, one hand. They were the same thing, right? Even in indigenous cultures, if you're a healer, you're a very powerful person. And in the world, if you're a healer and you're able to help people, even on the research side, even if you're a doctor and you never fucking see a patient, but you're doing work towards trying to cure cancer or fucking leukemia or, you know, whatever disease, you know, Lyme disease or you know, all these other immunodeficiency diseases, or a cure for dementia, right? A cure for kidney disease, right? Sickle cell, anemia, blood pathogens and shit. Anything that you do with that, you know, would be fantastic. Yeah, so go be a doctor. If you could be a doctor, that'd be great. That's a great, yeah, absolutely go to school, become a doctor. That's one of the best things you go to school for. Or try to be a fighter. Hell no. What was that one fighter? A few of them are nurses. I don't know if any of them have been a doctor before, but there've been a bunch that have been nurses. That one Asian guy, he won Ultimate Fighter, and isn't this guy from this guy from Dagestan? He's a nurse too, right? He retired, and they always want him to come back, and I don't think he should come back either. Like, you're making good money and you're helping people, and you don't need to get punched in the face and end up in the hospital at night. Most of these guys most of these fighters, win or lose, go to the hospital at the end of the night. Win or lose, they go to the hospital, right? They're going to be feeling it. I've seen MMA guys, like, look at Brandon Roy. I'm surprised Joshua Van, he was fine. He didn't need to go see anything. Zabit, yeah, Zabit Magomedov, yeah, he's, and supposedly he's really good. Same with the Asian guy who's American. Like, he works in a trauma center, right? Like, he's like in the front lines of some serious medical issues. And I think Zabit too. I think Zabit might eventually become a doctor. Poirier's last dance, that's a bad, you know, even though he's beat him before, that you always lose on your who won saying they're retiring and then won the fight? What fighter? None ever. Couture, none of them on the retirement day won. They always retire on a, you know, on a losing note. I don't think Dustin's got it, man. I think Max is on the comeback trail. I think it's a little garbage. I think Topuria should have all three belts. I think he should have the BMF belt, and he should have the two belts. The three belts. He should have the BMF belt. He was right. Max should have put that belt up on, you know, for you know, if he beat Max, so it's like sort of a garbage that it's the BMF belt for two guys that are coming off loss, or actually one guy that's coming off a loss. I don't think it should be. No, Even God understands that, like, you know, God wills something, but still, it's for that, you to actualize it and materialize it, right? It's not like preordained one way or the other. Like Dustin still has to put in his all. He's got to train really hard still, right? He still has to put it all. But when you're retiring and you got other things going on, you got your charities, you're 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 mentioning the NFL draft, right? Maybe he gets into politics. I don't know what's next. Dustin's a good-looking guy. He could get on the mic. He could probably get on the mic at Mike Skills someplace or do something else. Maybe politics. Who knows? Both are coming off losses. I thought Dustin was coming off the Saint Denis win. I didn't look really fast. My short-term memory is gone, even though I'm healthy or supposedly healthy. All right, space time. Thank you. Thank you. All the best to you guys too, man. Oh, the Islam fight. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he got that chance, man. That's why he should take off. And Max should. They both should retire. Max should, if win or lose, Max should just, that's it. Even if, especially if Max wins, he should retire as well. Be like, that's it. Max has been doing the whole gaming thing but he was one of the first. He was before even Mighty Mouse on the gaming, right? Like playing Call of Duty and all those games. Hey, hit the subscription button. Anybody in here, please subscribe. No fighter retires in time. They don't. They all retire too late. All except for GSP and Khabib. Khabib did the right thing. Valentina Shevchenko should retire. She'd be like, I've done it all. That's it. I don't need anything else. But she's a lifer. She loves the game of it. And she doesn't lose anything by losing. But if I were her, I would just leave with my record, and I would leave just on top like that. Right? Hit that subscription button, people. Yeah, all these fighters wait way too long. Way too long to retire. And it's because they don't make that big money. They're not making like killer cash, right? After their coaches, after the travel time, paying their gym. And they have more than one coach, paying their nutritionist, right? They got to pay their nutritionist. They got to pay their doctors, right? They don't have health insurance, but I think they got some kind of health insurance through UFC now, though, right? They could see a doctor through the UFC, which I think is a little conflict of interest. I think they see a UFC doctor, almost like what the WWE does with its athletes, right? So it avoids future potential litigation by having their doctors under their umbrella as their company, right? Oh, you got to fight, you have to use our doctors. If we're paying for anything, you got to use our doctors. And most fighters will do it. Yeah, I think the cigars are smoking better now because of the heat. You would think they would smoke faster, but they're not. Like lately, when it was cooler, they were burning faster. Now they're not burn. They're closer. Well, not really, because a cigar burns at like what, close to 9. The cherry or the center of the cigar is like, it'll burn your fucking skin off. Like it's like a little mini torch. It's like 800, 900 degrees or something like that. Down goes another cigar ash. Yep. It rolled off of me good. You have to be careful with the cigar ashes, guys. Make sure that thing goes off of you because it could still burn your clothes. It'll burn you still. The ash could have a little heat. Still burning really well here. The cigar. Burning well. Great flavors, man. Really nice. And I got to stop smoking these. I don't have many more of these left. Mmm. Yummy, 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 yummy. Yeah, so what's on the next card? Let's take a look at the next card. Although that last event was awesome. Wasn't it, people? Wasn't that event? That thing was pretty sick. I think it is the New Orleans, right? No, Lewis. Lewis versus Taliesin Teixeira. Stephen Thompson. I thought Thompson was gone. Versus Bonfim. Kelvin Qatar versus Steve Garcia. Nate Landwehr versus Morgan Charret. Victor Pertino versus Austin Lane. Junior Taffa versus Tuco Tucos. Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis. That's going to be a good fight. Jake Matthews versus Chidi Nkunu. Yeah, that's not bad. Kenny Nchukwu's also on here. Not the best card. That's what you would expect, right? I'll leave the band on a little longer. I lost my music. Let me play a little music, guys. We read our Kohberger thing. Let me end the poll. Actually, no, why end it? Why end the poll? Kohberger accepts the plea deal. Accepts the plea deal. Mech Godzilla.
For live streaming, introducing the OBSpot tail.
Why is that?
Portable and can be placed at any place you want.
No, my clip went out.
Up to 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. Use gesture control to activate AI auto tracking feature.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know why my speaker isn't working. Smoking it. This cigar is kicking, man. It's a good ass cigar. They're not always all the same. It is a organic product, you know. Sometimes one piece of corn on the cob tastes a little yummier than another piece of corn on the cob, right? Yes, I'm in the US. I'm in Chicago currently, and it's a beautiful night. Beautiful here. And it's nice to be in the good old US of A. It's nice to be in Chicago. Chicago's a beautiful city, and I don't even maximize my. I've done everything I want to in Chicago, but now I should still be going to the lakefront. I still should be driving out to little trips to Wisconsin, Michigan. I learned today that a friend of mine or an associate is in Michigan as well from Hawaii, and he apparently he's relocated there, which is surprising. I don't know what he's doing in that area of Michigan, but I'm gonna come maybe sometime go and visit him and camp out, see how he's doing. Other than our political situation, which is worsening, and people don't accept that it's worsening, the USA is still fantastic, man. Still fucking great. Beautiful. It's the new world, and it's beautiful. A lot of other countries are beautiful too, but U.S. we got everything here, man. Just everything. And it's summertime, and it's hot everywhere. You're not escaping the heat anywhere. Even in probably Washington State, it's fucking probably they're having a heat wave there. One of my views on Trump. Trump sucks. Don't fucking elect idiots and actors for your president, no matter what country you're in. It's not very wise to do. All of them. They should have known that. People should have known that before Reagan, when he fucked up the country and was corrupt. Did a lot of fucked up shit, Reagan. He did hurt Russia though. He did set Russia back, and he put China in its place, but he helped China at the same time. China would not be where it's at now if it wasn't for Reagan signing those deals. He made sort of this peace with China and engaged and opened up trade with China to a large extent that allowed them to, with the inner sharing of our technologies, to be the holder of a lot of our technologies now. Yeah, Trump's a jackass. And people fall for it. And he's old. Elon Musk is a phony. Elon Musk owns but two of the most important technologies to the world. He owns basically satellite technology at this point, like the most functional satellite array in the world, which is our known universe, right? And he owns the means of accessing space, or one of them, the primary means of accessing space. Very powerful, very, very powerful. Regardless of the money, that's why people were saying that Trump might even like fucking privatize his company. Say, okay, I'm gonna take you, and Trump's old lawyer, Cohen, said that. He predicted it months ago before they even started having a fight. He's like, Trump sees his shiny toys, and he wants his toys. He could see a way now how the government could seize Elon's technology, and then Trump could try to seize it for himself, right? Yeah, I didn't know how serious ketamine is as a drug. Like that people are like getting high on ketamine, like for fun. I've never done it myself. I'm no longer drug experimental person. I'm not against you trying your drugs and doing drugs. That's you. Just be careful, right? But yeah, I'm not versed in what ketamine is. It's from what I'm reading now and seeing like on YouTube mainly and certain things that I'm reading, it is a pretty serious drug. Like people are getting high on the ketamine, like high. Isn't that what killed that actor from Friends? Like he overdosed on ketamine. So it's not a recreational fun drug. It's one of those recreational drugs that, like cocaine and heroin and all the rest of them, that could kill you fast. Meth, fucking, uh, you know, um, what's the other one that are, you know, the pharma, the fucking whatever the Chinese are making. I'm tired. Thank God I ain't doing. Thank God I wasn't a drug experimental or person experimenting in drugs in this era, because now the drugs really do kill you. Fentanyl. Like you could die with as much coke as I used to do, just in just for tasting, like testing coke, and also just to taste little bumps here and there of fentanyl. You could fucking die, right? You could just die, right? So if you're in here, please subscribe. Anybody that hasn't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscription button. Now we're just chilling. We had our discussion on Kohberger that people didn't really participate too much in, but what do I do for a living? I work at the airport. I don't fly the plane. I missed my chance of being a pilot. Missed my chance. But I think I would have been in that. What was the Denzel Washington movie about the pilot? You know, that saved those people even though he was like high on cocaine and drunk. Had like 2 drinks up while he's flying the plane. Fixes himself a couple screwdrivers. Yeah, this cigar is really good. And I'm happy because right now, I don't know why, but there are more mosquitoes in my goddamn house than there are outside, which sucks. So I sprayed my house just now, fucking with the fucking mosquito killer repellent. So that's another reason why I'm out here and I say that and then I get bit in the back. This light over here is fucking attracting the mosquitoes. It's like, yeah, there's a human over there. Go and get him. Fresh meat. I don't necessarily have any views on India other than it's a beautiful, like, incredible culture of people. Like, the people are like fucking hard workers, man. That's other than China, and China too, but Indians, man, we don't see it enough here. We have a lot of Indian and Pakistanis here, and we have the Chinese people grind, but fucking, I don't think Americans realize like how hard working and how old of a culture even India is. Like India is older than China, right? And India has a lot of corruption too. And the poverty in India is like, we think we have poverty here. Do you think poverty in the fucking in Guatemala and places like Mexico? It is nothing. Even in China, like China, I think is better off than even India is. India is the percentage of population that lives in poverty is like, ooh, scary. But they have so many people there and they work hard. What I was amazed about, like, there were these people in this like a garage. They considered it a factory, and it wasn't even a factory. And they were making these tins, and I think that they were tins to hold either soap or cologne for Prada, or was it Gucci? And they were making them in this little fucking dirt, no floor even in this place. There was no concrete floor. There was old machinery where they're pounding this metal and fashioning this metal into like a container, a tin for Prada, and probably for other, makeup and other fashion houses. And shit was being made in like looked like a garage almost, like the size of a big garage. They're making it in this place in India, hundreds of pieces, thousands of them. that we're gonna go and then like be sold, you know, a bottle of cologne that might hold, the tin might hold a soap or a bottle of cologne that sells, like the soap might sell for $100 and the bottle of cologne might sell for $200, and then they're making the tin over there in India on some floor someplace. Please subscribe, people. Please subscribe. Yeah, and India is a nuclear power, and they have a big army. Like we're not even aware. Like it's because of air dominance is key, as we see with Iran, like Israel and the U.S. like just bullied them because they have air power and anti-missile technologies, right? So they bullied them. We don't even know what India has in terms of counter, anti-air missiles and other missiles. Like I'm not even aware of like some of the shit that India and Pakistan might have. But we know it's got to be developed. It's got to be pretty high-end technology. Regardless of what Trump says, we have some. India is not a country to play with or toy with. They are a very technically proficient country, right? So, just like China is, caught up to us. We don't have much of an advantage in anything anymore, even in AI and coding and anything. The U.S.'s advantages. It's the Wild West again. Yeah, please subscribe, people. If you're in here, please subscribe. If I get a few more subscribers. But yeah, India has a rich cultural history, though. Like I love, like, I guess yes, they treat some of their religious people like if you're a Christian in India, you're like a lower class person, I think, right? Like they still have like caste systems there. Like if you're poor, it's tough for you to marry out of your family, to even to go to school and move up in the Indian culture. It's supposed to be very challenging. Yeah, and Indians are shrewd businessmen too. Like here in Chicago, man, they run a lot of different types of industries. They control most of the stores. They're in the restaurant business. They're in the construction business. They're in the trucking business. I haven't gone to the farming areas. I bet they're in farming like they are in Canada. Very big in the Canadian farm industry and trucking industry, food distribution, food processing. I think they even got into the fish processing up there. Like they took over that, or very big competitors in that industry up there in Canada. Hit the subscription button if you haven't been. If you're coming in, just coming on in, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Anybody have any questions on the Kohberger case or comment on the Kohberger case? This is huge. Even the Diddy case. What do people think? Should I build another poll? Is Diddy going to be guilty or not guilty? What do people think? Is Diddy going to be free or is he going to be guilty? Let's see what the jury decides. Apparently some like juror was acting out, like just not following instructions. Something was going on with one of the jurors. Which case? The Diddy case or the, which countries have I been? I've been to most Central and South American countries. All of them. Not all of South American countries, but all the Central American countries. Mainly that in Canada. Nothing in Europe yet. And we got to go to Southeast Asia. I wouldn't mind going to a bunch of places. I'm slacking. I'm slacking on my travel. Oh, the Diddy case? Yeah, they're in deliberations now, jury deliberations. So they're trying to find out and trying to determine whether he's guilty or not guilty on the conspiracy charges, right? And then the sexual trafficking. I think they'll get him for the sexual trafficking. I think they'll get him for that. That's going to be an open shut case, right? It's obvious he paid for sex and he brought people from all over the country, if not all over the world, to have sex with or to watch have sex or whatever he did. But the conspiracy racketeering charge is going to be a lot harder to prove that. One person, right? Like you could say that about any person. You could say that about Trump. You could say that about any boss. Oh, you're a racketeer. Like it's like so many different things in racketeering that they have to meet. So many conditions to prove that the guy was like a fucking mobster essentially, right? Because he's coerced people into doing things. Plenty of people use money to coerce people to do shit all the time. Look at our government. A bunch of coercers that talk about coercion. I think Diddy might, I don't know what the jury is, but I think it was a sex case, right? Like he's gonna get, he didn't have sex with minors. He's not a PDF file, right? He's not a PDF file. They're getting him because he engaged in prostitution, which is legal in what, 3 states in the U.S. and in many countries. He wasn't in any of those states though, right? It's in New York where he was engaged in prostitution, and I don't think prostitution's legal in New York. So they might get him on that, right? Like that's why the sex trafficking part, that part of the case, they're gonna get him on the sex trafficking. They might not get him for the racketeering and the conspiracy or whatever they call it, the RICO, right? Racketeering, coercion, and whatever else it's the acronym is for. What do you guys think? Yeah, there's a bunch of big cases right now going on. That Diddy case is huge. And the Kohberger settled, that's a big win for the prosecution, even though the families disagree with it. What more did the families really want? He wanted it to go to trial so he would get the death penalty, but you can't plead somebody that, okay, you accept that you're guilty and you're going to get the death penalty. No one's going to do that. The defense and prosecution, the prosecution got a good deal. They did get a good deal. No appeals. He admits guilt, right? No appeals. It's huge. Yeah, I wouldn't feel bad for Charles, man. Don't feel bad. That's their job, man. That's their livelihood. They go out on their shield. Don't feel sad. That's what their job is. He still got paid. He still got paid. And there's still a lot of fights out there for him if he wants to fight. I mean, a lot of people do feel for Charles. I don't. I don't feel bad for Hermanson. I don't feel bad for Brandon Royval. right? I don't feel bad for Julia Pena. I don't feel bad for Kai France. Any of the losers, I don't feel bad for any of those losers in there. This is the business that they chose, right? It's a hard, and it's the blood business, blood money and blood business. You got to give blood in this business. That's why it's great when Topuria is ready for Patty next, a couple months. He could fight him at Christmas time if he wants to. He's ready to go. He could fight him in a couple weeks if he wanted to. He probably won't because he's going to be a big star in Europe and in Spain and in Georgia. And I think he does speak one of the Arabic languages. I'm not certain what the Georgians speak, if they just speak Georgian. How do I see Tony as a fighter? Tony, when he tripped over that wire, that cable, it was like God telling him this, that was it. That after he slipped and fell and was out of that fight, his career ended. I think he should just count his blessings, not do the BKFC, sort of like Diego Sanchez, and just find another way to make money as a coach, as a preacher, doing seminars, personal appearances. If they have to do that OnlyFans, or what's the other thing, Cameo, right? Tony, the worst luck of any fighter in history, basically, but he still fought those fights afterwards, right? He had his opportunities, and it's just crazy. You go from like being one of the top fighters in the world, and literally in 3 years, you're like, can't win, and go on 6 straight losses or something like that, right? He should have hung it up when he was retired. He did quit, and he has issues with his family. I think his CTE was already there. Tony should stay away from the fighting and look at other avenues to make money. Like, he's a driven man. I think he can make money other ways. Same with a lot of these fighters. And some of them don't make the money that these guys have. Look at Ben Askren is sick, and shit. It's a tough business being a fighter, wrestler. Very, very. That's why Zabit shouldn't come back. Zabit Magomedov shouldn't come back. Stay doing the nursing, dude. No reason to come back. You're not a UFC champion, so what? You were a UFC fighter. You finished that era of that life, and that's it. That was a phase in your life. That era of your life is done, and now you're on to bigger and better things. And a lot of fighters don't get that message. They don't go with that program of like retiring. None of them retire soon enough. None of them plan to have a better life after, look at Smith, right? Like, I don't feel bad for him. He's still doing the commentating. He's still making a good living. Should have did that a long time ago. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the sub button, please. Once I'm done here, if I get have 3 additional subscribers, I'm gonna be fucking stoked. Be very happy. It's just tough. Like fighters, same with like professional athletes, they don't know anything else, and they get high. It's a natural high. They're endorphins. On the fight nerds, my view on the fight nerds. Fight nerds are really smart. They're smart and not at the same time, but smart. They're working out with everybody. They're going to Australia to work out with people. They're going to Dagestan to work out with people. They're like, let's go all over the world and train with everybody. So everybody sees what they're able to do, but at the same time, they're able to see where they're at, right? They're all going to get their own litmus test and see where they're at. So I think they're really smart they're being genuine nerds. They're exploring the game as like, hey, it's a worldwide game. If we're able to train with all these people, why not? They're in Australia right now training with Craig Jones, with Volkanovski, with the people over there at City Kickboxing. Smart. I'm glad the rain didn't come here today. Yeah, the fight nerds are living up to their names and they're smart. Good team. Go and you're training with each other. You train with everybody in Brazil already. They go to the U.S. They train at American Top Team. Then they go American Kickbox. They go to AKA. They go everywhere, and train with everyone. O'Malley should have did the same thing. That's why Sean O'Malley couldn't stay as champion. Right? He just didn't develop his game quick enough and good enough, staying isolated. That's what we're trying to do as a country right now. That's not a good idea. We win on our diversity. We win in open market of competition, right? Iron strengthens iron. If you don't have that top level competition with you, you got to go out and find that top level competition. That's what fight nerds are doing. So I have a lot of respect for them. I think they're approaching it really well. Let's see if they finally get a champion, right? Because they don't have a champion yet. So they need a champion, and who's that champion going to be? Yeah, this cigar is smoking the way it should smoke, man. Not bitter at the end like the last one that I smoked. Been smoking for an hour and 20 minutes already. It's awesome. Didn't rain, beautiful weather out here. It's 10 p.m. in Chicago. Nice weather. Can't complain. Bangwell, thank you so much for all the questions, brother. Thank you so much for your participation here. Do you think the game has evolved much from the past competitors? Oh yeah, man. Just like in basketball, it's a whole different game. None of those guys, maybe GSP, but very few of the champions of previous eras would be able to compete nowadays. Very few of them would be able to be champions. Right? You look at them, Coleman, the Hammer Coleman wouldn't be a champion in this era in heavyweight. No way. Nowhere even close to it. Wouldn't even sniff a championship fight nowadays. Right? Chuck Liddell, no way. Wouldn't be there, even though he thinks he would. Hamill, no. Hamill wouldn't. Not Hamill. I'm sorry. Our guy here from Illinois, Vitor Belfort, middleweight, no way. No way. All these guys, Kamzat would eat them up. Fucking Adesanya would have eaten all those guys up, right? Even in the middleweight area. Yeah, the game is so. Look at Joshua Van as a striker, tearing people up, man, just so fast. The speed, the athleticism, the training now that they have available, the diet that is available, all the science, all the drugs, all the steroids. much better at all the drugs and everything. Yeah, it's competition stronger now, the skill level is stronger now. It's just like in basketball. It might as well, like if you look at like basketball in the 50s, when it was all the, you know, regardless of ethnicity, you know, or you know, like no, like most of those players wouldn't be able to compete at today's game. They just don't have that, the athleticism and the skill level. Look at the training, the way they practice dribbling nowadays, how good they shoot now. You know, look at how Steph Curry shoots, you know? Yeah, nice smoke. I'm gonna bring my ashtray out here. All right, people, I'm gonna drop the stream. Thank you for coming on in. I appreciate everybody that came on in. If you've made it this far, you are about better. Thank you so much. We are out.